You probably know Mike Tomlin for never having a losing season in 18 years, but has had very little to show for it in recent years. In the past 13 seasons he only has 3 playoff wins and is about to make that 14 when we get bounced by Baltimore on Saturday. The farthest he ever took the Killer Bees was to the AFC Championship, which was arguably one of the greatest trios in NFL history. TJ Watt and Cam Hayward only have a combined 1 playoff win, with it being Hayward, who won a playoff game 9 years ago, is Cincinnati. One of the reasons he gets so much praise is because he won a Super Bowl, but he inherited Bill Cowher's team. If we take a closer look at the no-losing seasons, we can see that in 7 of them, he won 9 or less games and 6 did not result in a playoff berth. In the Steelers' last 4 playoff appearances, they have given up 30-plus points all 4 games and 40-plus points in 3 out of 4 games, which shows Tomlin's defense is not well prepared. He is the longest tenured head coach without a playoff win of 7 years, going on 8. The second longest is Kevin Stefanski, who is going on 4 seasons. Tomlin has questionable player development. Of the 85 players the Steelers have drafted since 2013, only 3 have been multiple-time Pro Bowlers in Le'Veon Bell, Ryan Shazier, and TJ Watt, and let's not even begin to talk about the last 5 first-round draft picks excluding Troy Fautanu since he is injured, with the only non-bust being Najee Harris, who still hasn't lived up to expectations. Tomlin also doesn't know how to control or discipline players and letting them act up without any repercussions. Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, Juju Smith-Schuster, Chase Claypool, Diontae Johnson, and George Pickens all were players Tomlin was unable to control and discipline properly. Not a single one of Mike Tomlin's other coaches have gone on to be offense or defense coordinator, let alone a head coach, so Tomlin has 0 coaching branches, whereas Andy Reid has mentored 11 head coaches. Now let's take a closer look at why Tomlin hasn't had much success recently. Tomlin is absolutely horrible at challenges and is 43% in his career, and it's been even worse recently. He is probably around 1 for 6 or 7 this season. Tomlin has terrible clock management and is not good with using timeouts, and when the Steelers are losing we see very little urgency on offense, with them constantly running the play clock down to under 10 seconds. Here's an example versus the Browns that shows how bad Tomlin's clock management is. Winston completes a pass and the Steelers take a timeout. The Browns play it safe and run the ball. Surely Tomlin calls a timeout to stop the clock with over a minute left for more time on offense, right? Wrong. He doesn't use a timeout and lets the clock run down until 40 seconds. If you asked Tomlin how many points he wants to win by and he answered truthfully, he'd say as little as possible. He has the mindset that he wants to barely get by each game, man, after taking the lead just relying on the defense. That's why the Steelers rarely blow teams out. Tomlin is a defensive coach that wants to rely on his defense to win games, which does not work against good teams anymore. He wants the Steelers to be a running team and for that to be our identity, but it hasn't worked, but he is too stubborn to change it up. In our first drive you'll see run, pass, punt, because Tomlin doesn't like to make adjustments. We saw Tomlin fail to make adjustments last week when he put 7th-round rookie Corey Trice on Jamar Chase without any help. Chase was constantly cooking Trice and it took him until the 4th quarter to put Joey Porter on Chase, which worked, and that only happened because Higgins got hurt. Thank you for watching and let me know your thoughts on Mike Tomlin in the comments.